Hello everybody. Today we're going to be talking about cars and how to save money and what the best car is for you. And to help us with this discussion, we have that guy who does magic with us, and he's gonna really help us out here. Okay, what kind of car is it? Now that you have all that in your mind, let's go through a list of questions that need to be answered about this car. First, what do you need in a car? Alright, think about that for a couple seconds. Alright. A need, though, is something you absolutely cannot live without in a car. This car, remember, we're going to be talking about first-time buyers, because I didn't explain that earlier, but we're going to be talking about first-time buyers. And this car's only going to last you 3 years, so what do you absolutely need in a car, or what can you cut price on, or something like that. Alright, so think about that. Now thinking of that, again, what are your needs? Alright, now that you got your needs, here are some other things you need to think about when buying any car, especially your first, alright? Does it have good miles per gallon? Is it durable? How many miles are in it? On it, sorry. How many cylinders does it have? Is it a two-wheel, four-wheel, or all-wheel drive? Is the price reasonable? These are all questions that need answered, and just so happens that for first-time buyers, this is the biggest questions that need answered. So, if you're in around Pittsburgh, these cars that we're going to list are good. They're close, really good. But either way, all these tips that we're going to give, no matter where you live, it's gonna do well for you. Alright, so let's get on to this and let's get to the first question. So give me these cars. Alright, so we have car number 1. Car number 1's description. Car number 2. Car number 2's description. Finally, car number 3. Car number 3's description. Okay, so these are cars that are in and around Pittsburgh. You can buy them easily. These descriptions are pretty much what you need to look at, though, for a first-time buyer, because if you don't live around Pittsburgh, you know, that's what you're going to need to look for is, you know, and a nice-looking car from the picture. So, the first 2 descriptions are what you want to look for regularly. These are good prices, and their miles are under 100,000, because if you get to 100,000, that's a middle-aged car. Anything over 100,000, you really gotta watch, because that could be like a really old car, but you know, you'll get the hang of this after you look at the cars. Other than that, you'll notice they're all 4-cylinder. That means less power, but they're also cheaper, because the more cylinders you have, the more costly it is, because the more horsepower you have. Transmission is also a max, which costs more, but it's easier, so you don't have to like go and shift your gears and stuff. Other than that, that's all the other parts of the description are pretty much self-explanatory. Or if they're not, you can look them online, or you're gonna get further information from the guy who does magic who's right over here standing by. And that's about it. Yeah. On the third car though, third car is a diamond in the rough, because this car, it only has 102 miles on it, and it's not that old of a car, but it doesn't matter because it's essentially a brand new car, because it's just not having that many miles. The miles are really what determine the age of a car, not the age of the car, actually. Like, if it's 98, but it only has like 102 miles on it, it's much better than like a 2008, which has 100,000 miles on it. So you're getting a new car versus an old car. Well, a new old car versus an old new car. So yeah, other than that, there's nothing much to say. And you're getting a great deal, so if anyone wants to hop on that for $5,981, you know, get on that stuff. Alright, so we're finally going to be able to get into some questions. Our first question for that guy who does magic is, should we buy or lease? Alright, so thanks that guy who does origami. So you have the car you want in mind, right? You have gas mileage, manual, automatic, transmissions, your 4-cylinder, 8-cylinder, and such things like that, right? Alright, so what you have to think about now is, should you buy it or lease it? This is an all-you decision, so I'm just going to hit some facts about it, and you're going to make your own decision on this. I'm not going to list what's pro or con. You have to figure that out on your own, and just whatever you feel most comfortable with, right? So, first is, we're going to do buying, right? So, the car is yours. You own it. So there's also that you pay the sticker price and try to negotiate it down if you need a deal, because clearly you guys want to save money. But if you're going to negotiate, you really have to have someone in there who can do it, or you have to be really good at negotiating. yeah, so you also have to pay for everything, including repairs, oil changes, gas, etc. You have to take out a loan, so if your credit is bad, you might not be able to get a good loan. You don't always have to take out a loan either. Like, if you have enough money to pay it up front, that's okay, you can do that. But to help build credit, it's such if you have bad credit or if you're just establishing credit, you take out a loan, do that with your car, and you'll make some money. Well, you won't make money, you'll make a credit score that way. A new car is more costly than a used one, so that's something different. You can take it as a con or a pro, because we'll get new and used cars later, and you can make a decision based on that. Also, you make a down payment when the contract is signed. Then you make your first payment a month after that contract is signed. Your interest rates and sales tax are factored into the loan, and you can sell the car after you're done using it. These are all things about buying, and then we're going to go into leasing, which in comparison, when leasing, you only pay part of the car's sticker price. This is a good way to get a luxury car, but this is further on in your life, because whenever you're first driving and getting your first car, you shouldn't really be buying a luxury car. You don't have to put a down payment down. That was a lot of downs, but you don't have to put a down payment down. You have to also make the first payment the day of signing the contract, not a month after, but after that it becomes monthly. You only pay sales tax and monthly payments. You also treat the car like it is your own, so you're paying for gas, repairs, and everything else. So this is like buying a car, but you're on a lease. The only limiting thing is the contract with the lease. It can restrict how many miles you put on the car, where you can use it, etc. When you return the car after the lease, you may have the option of buying it at a guaranteed price pre-negotiated, or you can use it as a trade-in for a new car or a new lease, or you can just walk away. That might be the best option for you. You might want to sell it. I don't know. This is all you. Whenever you turn in the car, you also have to pay for everything that happened to the car that isn't just regular wear and tear. So if you go over the mile limit, you have to pay extra, or if you go over repairs, you have to pay extra. Or if you get bad damage, you have to pay extra. But that's also going to repair you, where you have to buy that. So yeah, this is all the information that we have for you. Our second question for that guy who does magic is, should we buy new or used cars? Alright, so new or used cars, alright. For new cars, they're new, you're the first owner. They should be good for at least 33,000 miles, or 3 years of 11,000 miles a year. No repairs need to be made immediately. It's a little more pricey. You do whatever you want with the car. If you decide to sell the car, it sells for much more after you're done with it. So used cars. You will be at least the second owner of the car. It might need immediate repairs depending on its condition. The previous owner might have wrecked the car terribly, like with cigarette smoke and such, or, you know, they could wipe their boogers underneath some seats, or you can find a dead body in the trunk. I don't know. These are all things you have to take into consideration. It's a little less costly because it's used, of course. Yeah, and if you decide to sell the car, it sells for less. But with a used car, you might find a diamond in the rough that was only driven by grandma to like the grocery store or something, and you know, it has like 102 miles on it, like previously said, and you're paying a very low price for it. It's essentially a brand new car. Finally, our third question for that guy who does magic is, what car buying websites would you suggest? Alright, so a lot of buying takes place online. You can also buy your cars online. I went through a lot of websites, and I have picked 3 that are good, bad, and decent. So I'm gonna go ahead and say them, and I've already written reviews for it, so I'm gonna read off the paper, like you haven't already been able to see that, but I do have the paper with me, and I'm gonna read the reviews straight off. So Craigslist. This website allows you to get very narrow in your decisions. Many cars are listed, and it works very well. Other than this, though, you may have to click on the links to get any information or a picture. Then it all depends on who lists the car to provide the information about it, which not all of them do. Then, even if there is information, I don't trust the website because of inconsistencies between all the links. The prices are usually lower, though, unless the seller has a personal connection to the car. All around, the website is very basic and not that good. I just don't get a good vibe when buying a lot of cars there. This it's a 3 out of 10 and is one that might provide good deals, but it takes a lot of more searching. Alright, so then we have cars.com. The website is easy to navigate and gives options that seem very reliable and legitimacy. The only problem is that you had to refresh the page to be able to search sometimes. In this sense, the navigation was terrible at this point. All the results are good and they really match what I'm looking for, and the prices are comparable to all the other websites. The site offers the feature of remembering your last search even though you left the site though. This site gets a 5 out of 10 in the middle of the road website, which sometimes screws up but is worth a refresh. This site was very professional looking and reliable. I trust all the deals, and the prices on some of the cars seem lower than other sites but are still around retail value. I love the site mostly because of the organization of the cars when searching and how narrow the searching can get, which really helps when buying very specific. The site is special because it works well and loads fast and sells cars from all over. Sites get an 8 out of 10, and in my searches this was the best and works fantastically and is very trustworthy. Yeah, but these are all the best starting points for a new car buyer. Also, you should look at the prices and see if they're reasonable or bad, and you can look at this at KBB.com, which gives you a good estimate on the sales prices of the car. Alright, so I'm going to end the show for you guys. So in conclusion, make this car something that you will only drive for 3 years, since it will be your first car. But don't stress about finding a perfect fit for all your car's needs, because it's only for 3 years. I hope that all this information made it possible for you to make a good decision and not get screwed over by a bad car dealership or a bad car. Goodbye and good luck, my students. I hope you know everything.